Alright, so this is for my rock and roll class. And the first question is where, what city and state, and what year did you graduate from high school?
Louisville, Kentucky, and I graduated in 1983.
Alright. What kind of music was popular during those years? Do you remember specific artists or groups that made an impact on your high school years?
Journey, REO Speedwagon, Bad Company. Gosh, I could go on and on.
Go for it.
I can't think of any more. Let's see. Pat Benatar. I'm trying to think of the albums that I had. Let's see. Cheap Trick, some Billy Joel, Bruce Springsteen. Let's see. Led Zeppelin. Gosh, Katie.
I guess that's good for.
Is that good for right now? I'm sure more of them will come back to me.
Yeah.
NXS. That was probably more popish. That was probably more after I was in college.
Let's see. The next one says, how much did you pay for an album or for a single? And when you bought music, would you buy the whole album or would you buy a single?
No, I always bought the whole album. I don't remember. We had singles, but they were old. So like maybe my brother had bought them, who is now in 65. So when he was a teenager, he bought them as singles. But I guess I did buy. Probably my siblings bought singles. I never bought a single. I don't remember. I brought albums, and I was in an album club. So you could be in this album club, and they would send you, like in the mail, a list of like the albums that were popular. And I think I'm pretty sure they would mail them to you, and then you could decide if you wanted to keep them or not. So that's how I got all my albums. I might have bought one or two in a store, but I was in like an album a month club or whatever. And you bought so many, and then when you bought so many, then you'd get one for free or for half price or something like that.
Okay. How did you hear about new music? The radio, TV, magazines, friends?
Well, I would say mostly radio and my siblings, so I listened to whatever they listened to. So they were into like, who was Paul McCartney and Wings. Gosh, I'd have to go back because everything that Diane listened to, I listened to. Joe Walsh, Bob Welch. So whoever she was into is who I would listen to because she drove the car.
Let's see. Did you attend any live concerts? Can you describe?
No, I did not until I was probably in college, I guess. I don't even know if I did. The first concert I went to was probably with your dad, and it was probably country music. Maybe. No, that's not true. I probably went to, like, Chicago. I went to a couple concerts. I think I went to Chicago for sure.
Do you, remember how much it cost you or how long it was? Like the security or beverage availability?
No, I didn't go. I didn't go when I was, in high school and college. I'm pretty sure that it was pretty lax. You could take anything in. They didn't check you. They did not frisk you. Whatever you hid underneath your clothes and could get in without anybody noticing, you could bring in. They didn't check your purses or anything like that. Gosh, I think concerts were $25, $30, which was a lot of money back then.
All right. right. What kind of music did your parents listen to or like?
They liked big band. So Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Bing Crosby, Perry Como. Duke Ellington. The Ink Spots, that was one of Grandpa's favorites. And that's what the album cover looked like, Ink Spots.
That's funny. Let's see. How did they feel, your parents, about the music that you were listening to?
Oh, they thought it was a bunch of crap is what they thought. They did not like it. They thought it sounded like they just thought it sounded bad. That they'd say, "You call that music? That just sounds like a bunch of jumbling and screaming." Jumbled words, screaming and yelling. And I can remember, another group, the Police and the Cars. Those were also popular. So when Mom heard the Police, Every Breath You Take, she said, "It sounds like somebody's watching you." It sounds like somebody's stalking you. That's creepy.
That's funny.
That was her take on the song.
That's funny. Let's see. What if anything, was considered controversial about the popular music of the time?
Well, there was drugs, and a lot of drinking associated with those groups. They were, people that were in the bands, of course, were partying and then, of course, it just was a totally different style. Just like I said, your grandma thought it sounded like a bunch of, she couldn't even understand it, gibberish, like she didn't understand what they were saying. It was loud. All you could hear was the bass. And so it was just totally different as far as like what was allowed. If you go back and look at what Grandma and Grandpa listened to, they were listening to somebody playing music that was more like band instruments, like they had saxophones and violins, and the pace was slower, and you could really hear the words. It was more about the words than the music, and then also a lot of it, and the people that were singing it were dressed in suits, and the people that were out listening to it, if they went to like a concert type venue, the people were all dressed up, whereas by the time the rock and roll era rolled around, people were dressed, just in jeans and very casually, and the people on the stage were very casual. Then you have people like Elton John, who was also another one that was very popular. He was, I believe he didn't come out that he was gay until later, but it was pretty obvious that there was something not typical about him by the way that he dressed, the outrageous outfits that he was like way ahead of his time. And then there's David Bowie, who also was kind of in that same era too, that they just didn't look like your typical entertainer.
Yeah. All right, let's see. The next one, it says, what kind of musical, social, or cultural trends did you see get more popular as you grew older, and did you like what was happening?
Well, I think what it was when I was in high school, and when I was in high school, the music probably became more popish. You still had like Led Zeppelin, which is really more of a heavy rock and roll, heavy metal, and before that you had, like back in the 70s, it was all rock and roll, and then rock and roll kind of branched out into heavy metal, and then you started getting more popish. So when I was in high school, you started seeing less, I guess, traditional instruments and more synthesizers, like they were mixing it in the studio. So you started wondering if the artists really could sing or perform as well as they were on the record, because they could, they could manipulate it, I guess, a little bit in the studio, which now they can do so much more.
Yeah.
So, and then the music got, like, it got very much more pop. So you got a lot more, when you got later into the 80s, you got a lot more like NXS and, Hall & Oates, and so they weren't as rock and rollish, I guess, kind of like an in-between. So, the music, I guess the music got broader is what I would say.
Yeah.
You had your rock and roll, and then it just branched out, and then you ended up getting the heavy metal, and then what else? It seems like there was kind of like another offshoot there, but I don't remember. I don't remember what. I don't know.
Alright. The next one says, are you familiar with the popular music of today in 2017? If yes, which artists/bands do you enjoy? If no, can you pinpoint when and why you lost interest in the current popular music?
Well, I think I know some, but it's like, Adam Levine, what's that, Maroon 5, and, I don't know, you need to name some, you need to help me name some bands that are popular. Now, I know the music, like the Black Eyed Peas, which probably are not that popular right now, but those would be anything that's a popular song that I might hear on a radio station. I might like those, but I think I don't like anything that's rap, which is very popular right now. I don't like that at all. Yeah. To me, that sounds like crap. Just like Grandma. I can't understand what they're saying. And my biggest complaint is that a lot of it is, a lot of the lyrics are very anti-women. It's very violent, sexually violent. It's there's just nothing positive in the rap culture, which has kind of been an offshoot, I guess you'd say, because we also back in the 80s is when Prince became popular, and he kind of started that. He wasn't really rap, but that kind of music was kind of a different, I guess, category, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there were some that probably were the early rappers, like, I don't know, LL Cool J. Some of the music I kind of liked, but it was only what was popular enough to make the radio station.
Yeah.
So I'd say I'm less interested in it if it is, if the lyrics are totally inappropriate, if they're about things that are violent or, sexually violent, or it's derogatory towards women, and I don't understand a lot of what they're saying. And for instance, the other night, halftime at the national what was it?
The national championship.
We turned it off. We turned
Kendrick.
it off every time because it was horrible.
Kendrick Lamar. You didn't like him?
Oh my gosh! What a joke.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite rappers.
What's your favorite? There you go.
That's funny.
Well, a lot of what the lyrics, your dad kept saying, nice. It's really nice lyrics in there. I have it on TV right there. Nice. So I wasn't even listening that much. I had to turn him off because.
Yeah.
So I would say that, like, a lot of people turned the station on, that were watching that game.
Yeah.
Like, young people were watching it, but it was not totally, to me, it was totally, they totally missed their viewers, because probably the college kids that were watching it, like you, enjoyed that. But I'd say most of the people that were watching it, the majority were older than that,
Yeah.
Think of me, how long I've been out of college and I'm watching it,
Yeah.
college football. I'd say everybody that was over the age of 30 turned down the volume or turned it off until it was over.
Let's see. The music that you enjoyed growing up, while you're growing up, is it still the music that you enjoy listening to today? Would you collect your favorite? Did you think you genuinely love the music, or is it more about nostalgic memories?
Okay, read that again.
Is the music that you enjoyed while you were growing up still the music that you enjoy listening today? Do you have like your favorites collected? Or do you think that you genuinely like love the music, or is it just more like when you hear it now, more about like nostalgic memories?
Probably a combination. But I do still listen to some of the music that I grew up listening to, but I am more of a country music fan now, and that's because of your dad.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to country music except for when, Grandpa would have it on when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I didn't like country music, so I do not have a collection of my favorites. We've got some CDs, but I do not have like a playlist of them. But it is, anytime I listen to something that was popular, I can almost remember like where I was at and what I was doing when that song played. Something that'll bring back a memory.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like listening to them. It's just I pretty much listen to whatever's on the radio. Country music, or actually there's a new station now that must have just started after the first of the year, and it's playing mostly what I would have listened to in high school.
Yeah.
I guess we're now the oldie station. I guess I'm now the oldie station, so
Yeah.
that's fun.
All right. And the last one, it says, are there any other comments you would like to make about rock music and your personal experiences / backgrounds?
I don't know. Just no, I don't think so. Just grew up listening to it. It was very popular. Everybody, had their favorite. When I was a kid, you could not, unless you owned the album, you could only listen to it when it came on the radio. So you couldn't, like now, call up a song and listen to it at will because you had access to an internet or something like that. So and when you listened to the radio, they didn't play the same songs over and over like they do now. When you listen to it, like it seems like it's the same 6 or 8 songs they play in a cycle. So you kind of like would listen to the radio waiting to hope they would play your favorite songs. You didn't have, you just didn't have as much control over it as you do now, where you can, call up your favorites
So you listen to you have more variety that you would listen to than today. That you like to a lot of different stuff.
Much more variety. Yes. Way more variety, but you can also pinpoint exactly what you want to listen to.
Yeah.
And call, and listen to just that, even if you don't have the CDs or the records like you had to have,
Yeah.
back when I was a kid.
All right. I think